Yeah, that'll be me, right? So it's gonna be good.
Oh yeah. Just trying to relax.
Yeah.
We're gonna not be all podcasty.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on.
Hey, well, that's good.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Marriage Goals Podcast. This is episode 2 with Coach B and Sherea.
Yep.
So we are here to take up some space into this social media platform, giving you some tools and tips and hopefully resources to help you add to your marriage toolbox, not to just give you advice and tell you what you should be doing in your marriage, but just sharing some things. You know, we bring 32 years of marriage to this November, 3 adult children. So we're not new. We're not new to this. So tonight we want to talk about setting healthier goals as a married couple, and we're not talking about the power couple, you know, that be at the gym 7 days a week. We're not talking about the vegan and the plant-based couples. We're talking about the couples that be struggling struggling to, you know, you love pie.
Yeah.
You love eating Thanksgiving. That's what this is for. This is to help you get some tools, tips, resources to be healthier.
And reset at times to get yourself on track for the future, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to try to be a little more calm this podcast. I'm going to be like, I'm going to trade places with Coach B. And I'm going to
just try to like chill out a little bit.
Chill out.
I don't think I chill out that hard, do
I? So
what you got?
Before we get into the tips, we have a business called the Goal Setters Club. And I am the author of the 2023 Goals Journal. And we have courses that are set up to help you reach your goals. And in the month of January, we start with health goals because we believe that it doesn't matter what goals you set for yourself, whether you want to start a business, whether you want to do whatever. If you're not healthy, if you don't feel good, if you can't get out the bed, nothing's going to happen, you know. So starting with setting goals and whatever goals you have as a couple, whether you're planning to travel together, whether you're trying to have a business together, whether you're trying to raise your grandkids together, your health is going to be vital first in achieving any other goals. And so, you know, you see couples, you know, some couples are wheeling their other spouse into the doctor's office, or you have somebody taking care of the other spouse. You know, it's about being responsible with your own health
and having some discipline.
So we're going to get into a couple of tips. Setting health goals as a couple is it's a long game, and it's not about like strict diets or extreme workouts, but just like putting
Go ahead.
I can just feel it's about setting things into place for the long game, right? So I would say, I'm sure our health journey started earlier, but I would say when it really started getting serious is I remember, so my grandmother, we had greens in the backyard.
You like a lot of meat. You know that, right?
We had greens in the backyard. We had peaches. We had apricots. So I would go pick the greens. So my grandmother made homemade food every single day. Greens, cornbread, fried chicken, fish, rice, and gravy. So then when I got married, it was like, okay, this is what I'm going to make for my husband. You know, I'm going to make,
which was nice.
And he started getting full a little bit.
I was loving it.
And then one day, I was making grits and catfish. You know, one day he was like, No,
the grits and catfish was good. It was the pork. It's the pork.
Okay.
The pork and the beef over and over rapid. It just got to a point where I'll let you finish. I'll tell you more.
So one day he got up and was like, I don't want any more beef. And then one day he was like, I don't want any more pork. And it was like,
well, I wanted to cut back. I didn't want it so much because the way I see it is I got to look out for my future, right? If I continue to eat this way and eat this pork, it's only a matter of time when something is gonna start going south on me. So, in order for me to be around for a while and enjoy life and build some things, and be able to take care of my wife in several different ways, I want to keep myself in shape. So if I don't make a conscious effort or a decision on that, then it could just keep going on and on and on. And from what I understand, your body actually will heal yourself. You have organs that will heal yourself over a period of time. But if I keep putting the same stuff in there, knowing that it's not good for me, even though I love the taste, I mean, who doesn't love bacon? Who doesn't love pork chops? That was one of the things. That was one of the things.
I forgot about
I remember
chops.
I had about maybe 5 or 6 pork chops one night, and I woke up the next day and my head was spinning, and I had to recollect why that was going on.
And it was my pork chops that did it.
Well, hey, I stopped when we stopped doing that. I wasn't dizzy like that no more. So, I mean, it's just some of those some minor adjustments. Don't get us wrong. It's like we still enjoy food. We throw down. We do our holidays. We do our greens, our ham and mac and cheese, but we just don't go in on it like we used to.
Yeah.
Because things, we're getting up in age, so we got to start watching what we eat, and that's what we're talking about. We got to look out for each other like that.
Yeah, I forgot about the pork chops. But so I was like, well, what am I supposed to cook? Like, this is how I grew up. I grew up, making smothered, pork chops and fried chicken and, catfish. So when you come and tell me you don't want no more fried foods, you don't want no more beef, you don't want no more pork, it's like, what am I supposed to cook? And so I started.
You got very creative.
So I started making oatmeal, which I don't
like oatmeal.
but I eat it. So I started making oatmeal. I started experimenting with some different things.
You probably like 4 things: steak, lobster, shrimp, chicken.
Yep. Oh. So anyway, I think that's when it started, like in the actual marriage, me trying to find different things. And then I think it was one time I got up to like 190 pounds when I first met him. I was like a size 0 and I was 99 pounds trying to get up. So then I was like, well, how do I get rid of the weight that I didn't think I could even gain? Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. So I was like, how do I get rid of the weight? So I experimented with it. Well, okay, my pastor.
You really like to exercise. Go ahead.
See, I need my daughters right over here. I think the next podcast.
But things have changed now because
we need to have people over here on this side.
We help each other.
So we both stay on the camera. As I was saying, I forgot what I was saying.
You were talking.
Oh, so I Pastor Dave Gibbons. I saw him, and he was like traveling. He was like in New York, and then he was in another country, and then he was like back preaching. And I was like, how do you have all that energy? Like, you're in a whole nother country, you're in a whole nother state, then you come here, and then you're not just participating in stuff, you're speaking. He was like, well, I had this book, and I bought the book. And then he said he ate fish, and he said he had a green smoothie, and he gave me this recipe. And then from there, I did a 30-day juice cleanse. And that's all I had. And so that was kind of like a second version of like our health or my own personal health journey, right?
Yeah, I was proud of you for that. I mean, that helped me out too. I was able to experience some of that.
And then I was started thinking about, as we started taking care of some of our grandparents and parents and noticing when we would take them to the doctor, we had to take them in this whole bag of medicine and be like, okay, you take this at 8 and you take this at 9 and this is at nighttime and this after a meal and this is take this one with bread and don't have grapefruit. And I'm like, I don't want to be doing that.
Yeah, right.
You know, I barely remember to take my daily vitamins. So I sure don't want to take a bag of medicine. So I think with those major things in place, and then even now taking care of his mom,
Yeah,
you
even
know,
now. Yeah.
it's like, what type of goals do we want to set for ourselves, both individually and as a
Yeah.
couple?
You know, one of the things that's really important, I even think about that now, is like you may even be younger, but you really need to assess and really think about what you put into your body on a daily basis. I mean, because even if you're young, you know, I'm with guys that I know that I work with, and you know, if you think about your on the weekends, you're doing a lot of drinking. Then the weekdays come now, you're putting in Red Bull and all these energy drinks, maybe drinking a little bit of water. You might not be getting all that much rest. Eventually, that's going to catch up with you. Now, you could be young, you know, with a chronological age, but what is your biological age, like your age on your insides look? So when you really think about it, and then you're out getting fast food all the time, you really have to start thinking about your future, and those that starts with just making little small habits. I'm not saying just like completely stop, but
Mm-hmm.
let's say there's some balance, like, hey, maybe I need to eat some more vegetables. And what I appreciate about you is that, you know, once we started to we didn't just go cold turkey, but once we started to implement some things, you know, you started to help me out, and it's been awesome to know that I at least get like a two green smoothies a week, and that
Mm-hmm.
helps out a lot. Just, you know, because it's better having than not having, right? So
Right.
that helps me out. Being able to, you know, you make the apple cider vinegar, and you know we have our challenges, and then in your book, the reboot, you know, we go through that.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of resets us and helps us out. So it's
Right.
really good to know your partner, and look for things that may help. Because I know you don't like your
Gotcha.
your food. It's like you don't really like vegetables.
I don't.
So you don't like vegetables
I
at
like
all, and that kind of
I
concerns
like
me.
certain vegetables. He
So,
likes all vegetables.
well, I'll try it.
He
But
will
you
try
know,
it.
I'll try. But you know, when you just look at something like, I'm not gonna like it. How do you know you're not gonna like it if you don't even try it, right? But anyway, I wanted to say. So what I do notice, I had to take note over a period of time because I want my wife healthy, right? So what I did is I'm like, okay, she likes cherries, she likes strawberries, she like apricots, she like plums, right? You like those things.
Mhm.
So try to make sure that, I'll, buy you a bag of some of those items every now and then.
You do. Good
So
job.
so you can at least put something in your body
Good
that's
job.
gonna benefit you.
Good job, babe. Um, Another thing is keeping age in mind. You know, of course, when we met, I was in my 20s. I was 99 pounds, you know, and then in my 30s and my 40s, and now in our 50s, you know, this is the heaviest I've ever been. And it's taken the longest to get the weight off because of, you know, you got hormonal changes, you got life changes, you have stress, you have other things. So I think keeping in mind that, you know, my daughter and her boyfriend, they're young. They eat, they're still skinny, they're slim,
Yeah, we
you
still like
know.
to eat too, right?
You know what? You know what? I had to tell him, look, don't bring nothing in my house. Don't bring no cookies. Don't bring, and he knows what I'm not even talking about Brian. I'm
Milk
talking about,
goods.
stop. My daughter's, my daughter's boyfriend will bring over like things that I like. He knows I like Lorna Doones. He knows I like certain things. So I had to say last week, look,
Just can't come in the house, huh?
don't even bring it in here. Just don't even bring it. Just stop. Just let me, let me help me help myself.
That's a
Then,
good tactic right there. If you're trying to stop eating a certain type of food, just don't even let it come in the house. Don't
right.
bring it in the house. Do not allow it in the house.
And that's what we're working on right now. We're still working on it. But we had decided Okay, we would eat meat, but maybe just on the weekends, or don't bring it in the house. If we want to go eat beef, we go outside and get it. We were doing that for a minute. But anyway, let's stay on top. Let's stay on task. So we want to give some tips. I see some comments, but I cannot see them all the way. I kind of see them coming up, but I'm not able to view them. So I got to fix that. Next time. I won't be able to see them until after the podcast.
But here's a rule we did too, because you know, we 1 month we just didn't have any red meat at all. We started saying, no, we're not going to have any red meat. So what we did, we started saying, okay, instead of just like going cold turkey, like every now and then, you want to go have an In-N-Out burger or something like that, we do that. If you want, go have a steak, a nice steak. When we did eat red meat, it was like something that we really liked,
Right.
rather than just like, because we transitioned off of red meat.
Yeah. And I mastered turkey.
Years, yeah.
So now I just make everything turkey tacos, turkey chili.
Yeah.
But we want to get into 6 tips that you can incorporate into your marriage toolbox. And the first one is going to be
what is the first one? I can't
annual
see that.
checkups.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, so men,
and women.
I'm speaking. Well, I really don't like going to the doctor that much. That's one of the reasons why I started saying, hey, you know what? I got to start watching what I eat. I do not need to go to a doctor and tell them, hey, you need to stop eating this and give me some medicine. I'm not trying to hear that. Not if I can do that in my own. In other words, I'm not going to be like, oh man, I just like this. I'm gonna keep eating it, knowing that I should not be eating it, and then I'm gonna go to the doctor. Why do I need to go to the doctor to have him tell me what I should be eating? But anyway, man, yes, and women, we do need to do our annual checkups. We schedule that with each other. We
dentist appointments.
We do all of those things.
Annual checkups.
Yeah, we have a calendar that we set for that, and
man stuff.
Yeah, well,
women stuff.
Especially when you start getting up in age, you have these different type of tests and things like that. And it really doesn't have to just be annual. You can also do your own testing as well. There's a lot of times you can go check your BMI. There's places you can go in. They have certain type of skills that you can use. Just set small goals for yourself, just to keep yourself on track.
Yeah. So if you go annually together, and then you got results right there that you can work on. If the doctor is saying, hey, I know when I tried the keto diet, the keto was working. I was losing weight, but then I feel like I went to the doctor, my cholesterol was high. I was like, my cholesterol. And so when you go and you get those checkups, you get to adjust instead of waiting to adjust 5 years now when you have to adjust. So if you're going yearly, you're going together. Hey, did you schedule your annual? Hey, did you schedule your dentist? Hey, did you schedule this? And that way you can check in with each other and see what the results are and work on it together. So if my cholesterol is high, then we can work together on both eating. And that's one thing I like too, is that we work together pretty well. If I say, if we both want to do something, we try to do it together. That way it's hard if one person is trying to lose weight and the other person is just eating whatever, but if you're doing it together and you kind of agree upon some things, it makes the household easier.
Right. Well, yeah, because for instance, if your cholesterol is high, why you gonna eat a chili cheeseburger in front of me like that? How come you want to do me like that, right? So we gotta be in sync with each other, and that's why it's good to share that information. Right? Why are you gonna do me like that?
Oh Lord. Another one is wellness challenges. So we do Did you say bacon? he just can't get over bacon. I don't even make bacon that much anymore. My daughter loves bacon.
I love it too.
Okay.
Till you start getting them little, you get whoa.
Number 2, wellness challenges. To me, that's one of I started with a challenge.
And they say pork make you angry too.
Well, we still doing pork. We're not doing pork.
Okay, let's go.
Wellness challenges. So I started with a juice challenge. And that's what kind of started our whole house thing. Like I try to make, like tonight I'll make green smoothies and have them in the fridge. So I try to make green smoothies every morning. If I don't make
Yeah.
them, he'll make them, or I'll make them on Saturdays and put them in the fridge. And we'll do our overnight oats and our salads and try to keep that visible.
And that has got me through a lot of days, I tell you.
So we do challenges, we host challenges. We just hosted a plant-based challenge, and then next month we're doing our reboot challenge, and then the month after that a water challenge. And so rebooting yourself every once in a while and kind of changing up some stuff helps you get back into the mode. And anytime we do a challenge, we try to watch a documentary.
That part right there, I want to say that the documentary. If you have any issues and motivation and inspiration on changing your diets, if you watch some of these documentaries, what was one of them?
Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead.
Yeah, Knife, man.
Forks Over Knives.
Forks Over Knives.
Hungry for Change.
Oh my goodness.
And we just watched another one. I don't know the name of it, but it's on Netflix, and it's like Live to 100 or Live 100, but it's really, really good.
If you watch those, it will definitely give you some motivation. I don't know how long it'll last for you, but it will stop you for a couple of days and make you actually think about what you're putting in your body.
Right. 3, gym memberships. So if you get a gym membership, not just get a gym membership, you can have gym membership and not go to the gym, or you can go to the gym and not go in the gym. That's a whole different thing. We're talking about getting a gym membership and actually going to the gym with each other. Or if you don't like the gym,
them fitness companies, they love.
If you don't like the gym, you can set up I have my treadmill right here in my office, and I have a 4 a.m. morning call. And sometimes I get on it, and I was getting on it during that call. So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna call from 4 to 5, that's a whole hour that I'm on the treadmill. And I stopped because I was trying to take notes, and I was trying to take notes while I'm on the treadmill. That didn't work out well. But you can set up your space. Like I have my kettlebells right here at the bottom. We have another machine upstairs, and so you can have things at your house too, not just going to the gym. And then when our kids were younger, we would take walks. We would take walks in the backyard with our kids, and we would do our word of the day or our word of the month, like on dictionary.com. That way we were learning a word and we were walking, getting some exercise. And then we were walking together, like at the park. And then our church was up this, when we lived like a couple of years ago, our church was up the street, and we would just say, forget it, let's just walk to church as a family. So now you got your walk in, you have your relationship goals, so you can kind of blend things in together.
So, and also with working out, a lot of people, and that's not putting anyone down. Of course, you want to keep your figure and your physique looking nice, right? Yeah, you do. But a lot of us know that if that would just stay the way it is, you could be weighing 300 pounds, and as long as you in shape or you looking good, you ain't even trying to work out. Working out is actually good for your mind and your cardiovascular. You want to make sure you keep your heart pumping, because over a period of time, even if you're doing just like little steps, implementing something, if it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, get your cardio up, because you're going to need your heart to stay strong and pump that blood through your body to give you that oxygen, right? So it's not just like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym so I can just get swole. Also, you want to go and work out so you can keep yourself together and your circulatory system together, right?
And if you want to get swole, that's your business.
Oh, yeah, well, that's going to happen, no doubt. But it's just, it's not just, I'm going to the gym for that. You also need your heart to be pumping, or you ain't going to be doing nothing.
Right.
Right.
4. So 1 is getting annual checkups. 2 is wellness challenges together. 3, getting a gym membership or setting up your home with, exercise equipment. And 4, getting like fitness apps or like Fitbits. I don't know if people are still doing Fitbits now. I used to have a Fitbit. Now I just use my watch for my steps. But if you have your app, you guys can do challenges together. You can compete with each other, like how many steps did you get, how many steps, we don't do that because he don't want the smoke. If we both doing a challenge on walking, he don't want it. So
because we could just get on the track for real. We don't even have to do the little kiddie walking. We could just actually like
kiddie. Okay, yes. We're not.
Yeah, and even if you want to go in depth, I mean, there's a lot of wearable technology. They have technology now where people, they actually count their macros and all of that. with dieting and things like that. So those are some good pieces of equipment and accessories that you can use to help you.
And number 5, sleep goals. Quality sleep is essential for good health. Quality sleep. I know before, back in the day, when we were a little younger, we used to do overnighters. We'd be like, okay, babe, we got a project. We're doing an overnighter. Get a big old pot of coffee and just go at it all night. And then I didn't care about sleep. And now,
We was like, sleep is what?
Sleep is for suckers. David Shands, sleep is for suckers. And now I'm like, nah, so for me now as a female, I don't. When we say things, we're not saying stuff about people. Like if you weigh 300 pounds, that's you. We're just talking about us. We're talking about the goals that we have. But for me, I didn't want bags under my eyes, So I got to the point where it's like, no, I want to get some sleep because I want to make sure that I don't have bags under my eyes. I want to make sure I don't have, want to keep your face together or just keep yourself together.
Yeah, we
I
have
didn't
to
want to
learn
look
this.
tired.
We got to learn. We have to learn this stuff because we're looking in retrospect. So we're making
Mhm.
adjustments as we go, and hopefully that can add some value. We're just saying at some point, you have to start thinking about where you're at and how your future is going to look if there's no changes or adjustments that are made.
Right. Because the overall goal too is, again, if you are trying to live your best life and you're trying to reach your goals and reach your potential, you can't do that if you're not healthier.
No,
And so that's why I don't want to say healthy, because I don't want you to feel pressure to just be healthy, but it's like taking small steps to make things better. So sleep goals, getting good sleep, establish a bedtime routine, and make sure your room, your mattress, your pillows, your lighting, because some people, they keep the light on like all night, where some people may need like it to be dark so you can go to sleep. So but your
some
mattress,
people would be too sleepy to turn the light off.
so make sure you just work on your sleep goals, decide how you want your room to be, and turn off your phones and stuff like that. And then 6, educational resources. We kind of talked about it before. We read a lot of books. Not the books in back of us. That's just a tiny portion of the books we have. We got book trees all over. So having books on your health goals, watching documentaries, listening to podcasts, finding supplements. And he's really good with that too, supplements and finding out different herbs and things like that. So educational resources that keep you inspired, that you I forgot his name, Zac Efron. He had a really good show. And it was kind of different, where he went to different countries and he kind of talked to water connoisseurs and different things like that. And so just watching different documentaries, getting a different perspective on things kind of inspires you.
Yeah, believe me, as you get up in age, you start paying attention a little bit more. It's not.
If you say get up in age, you didn't say get up in age 6 times already.
Did I say that?
Yeah. We rewind the video. Get up in age. We get up in age.
I did?
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like you were saying it more than me. You were saying like, yeah,
we up in age.
When I was younger.
Okay.
When I was younger.
We up in age.
Well, yeah, I mean, you just pay attention. You start paying attention to some things. Or if you're not, it would be wise to start paying attention. Mm-hmm. So, we can walk this thing together and keep walking and keep building.
Right. So I'm gonna refresh annual checkups, wellness challenges, gym memberships, fitness apps, so you can do your little competitions with each other, but me and him are not going to be doing that. Setting sleep goals. You don't want to smoke. And educational resources. And then, so we're going to put it all together. I'm going to give you 5 kind of actionable nuggets. One is to start small. Start small. Take a walk together. You can set up your house. Like we before, I didn't even drink water, and I was dehydrated so many times. Now I keep water. I keep water in my office. I keep water next to both of our beds. We have water in the kitchen. We have a water. What do you call that thing? Container in our room. and
Dispenser,
a
yeah.
dispenser, and I have a water bottle that I take in my car. And so our house is set up in a way where it's saying hydration.
You remember when you didn't like to drink no water at all?
None.
And what she did, she started getting these little tiny
Water
water
bottles.
bottles. But then I noticed what she started doing, and it helped me out a lot too. This right here, check this out. She started making the water look sexy.
I did.
And what she did, she took like a glass pitcher and she took some crushed ice,
Mm-hmm.
and then she put some mint and some lemon and cucumber and
Mm-hmm.
just poured it in. And then when you see it sitting there, you know, it's like, oh man, and it's really delicious. So if you have issues with drinking water too, there's things that you can infuse your water
Mm-hmm.
with. And yeah, it made a tremendous difference in our lives actually. So
Yeah, so start small. And I know when my kids were younger, I would keep a thing called fresh. It was fast food Friday, but it wasn't fast food. I would keep fast food throughout the house, so like apples and oranges
yeah,
and grapes and things that you can grab that was healthy. And so if you start small by setting up your house in a way where when you walk, you see the vegetables. Bring the vegetables or bring the fruits out. Having a fruit bowl. I like to keep oranges, bright oranges on the table with candles, so that way you see the candles, like you said, it kind of looks sexy when you look at the oranges and you see a candle. So as you're walking through your house, instead of seeing the chips and the cookies and that type of the Oreos, you can see the fruit, right? And then in our refrigerator, again, like having your waters and having your green drink and having your salads, just starting small. Making a commitment together, it's a joint effort. A lot of times when I'm going on a challenge, I get the family together. Hey, I'm doing a challenge. Support me, do it with me, help me prep, keep me accountable. And so when you come together and do it and sharing your goals with each other, it makes it easier. And again, goal setting, like what goals are you going to set for yourself as a couple to become more healthier? You can say, we're not going to have soda. Or if you love soda, then you're only going to have soda when you go out to the restaurant, but you won't bring soda in the house, or you won't bring cake or cookies in the house. So that way, at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, you know what? You don't have cookies that you can come downstairs and eat. You have to go out and get them. And so you can start by setting goals for yourself, as a couple.
Yeah, that helped me out a lot too, because I'm like, after about 10 p.m. on some nights, I'm a muncher. Like if there's any cookies, any type of snacks, I'm like looking for it. So I had to just stop altogether.
Facts.
Yeah.
And then accountability, holding each other accountable in a loving and supportive way.
Yeah.
Loving and supportive. Checking in, making sure everybody's on track. And then 5, celebrate your progress. Celebrate your success along the way, no matter how small. And that's all we got. That was a lot.
That's it.
Anything else you want to say?
No, just want to say, the whole purpose of this is to, just have you to think about, we live busy lives, right? So sometimes we can get off track, and you can take an assessment and say, hey, sometimes you don't have a whole lot of energy, or sometimes your energy level can go down, and a lot of times that will have to do with your diet, and your health and your rest. So in order to achieve some of those goals and the things that you want to do, and see your kids, see your grandkids, or travel, or maybe build some businesses, or other type of endeavors, it's good to try to keep yourself together, take note of it, and be mindful of it. Yeah.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I can see that there's comments coming in, but unfortunately, I'm gonna have to look at those after the broadcast and then figure out how we can bring them on, on the camera and on the screen. I know there's a way to do it. So I want to say thank you for those who've joining us. This is our episode 2. We felt like, we wanted to contribute to the space, the social media space when it comes to marriage. Feel like we had something to share, something to say, and just wanted to, add value to your lives. There's a lot of stuff going on with couples right now. You're reading it. you know, in the news, but there's a lot of good things happening with couples too. And there's a lot of couples that are power couples, like powerful couples, and not just in status and you know, notoriety or being famous, but having power together as a couple when it comes to setting your goals and health and taking care of your family. And so we want to thank you for joining us. Please, if you like the video, if you felt it was some value to you, please share it with your friends and family. You know, subscribe to our channel. I used to hear people say that, click, like, share. But now I'm saying click, like, share. Share with your friends and family. And then we'll see you guys next month on episode 3.
Yes.
All right, you guys. We'll see you.
All right. Love y'all.
Love ya. Bye.